Hey yo, make sure you go to the playlist section on the YouTube channel and check out those separate playlists like the Saquon playlist, the Story of LG playlist, the All Laz Stories playlist. You feel what I'm saying? Browse the channel the correct way so you don't miss no exclusive episodes that you don't need to be missing. Yurt. Z-Man Suicide Polo with the Ski Man. Running around the hood like He-Man at 3 a.m. with 3 swams. Yurt. Subscribe to my new video game channel, Brooklyn Arcade. You heard I'm covering old school 80s and early 90s games only. Crack era games only. Up to 92. After that, I got locked up. It was a wrap. You feel what I'm saying? But I'm covering them classics. Arcade joints too. You heard? Exclusive. So make sure you run down on that page and subscribe. You heard? We about to hit 400 subscribers already in like a week. Let's get it. Yurt. And make sure you check my new single with the bro Ayatollah off that Lazatola album. It's called I'm What You Need. The whole joint is on my Instagram page and it's on my Gen Pop Music page. As you can see, I'm uploading exclusive music only to that Gen Pop Music page. You heard? Make sure you check that joint. I got 2 joints out, actually. Shout out to my bro Foul, Foul. We got that other joint out, RAW.
They just popped on the nigga. Son just start blamming. Boo, 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 boo. 2 of them niggas out the 3 got clapped. So, yo, you know I did a lot of music with the bro OPIUM. OPIUM later changed his name to Hangman when he got the noose tattooed around his neck. You heard? We both was on some crazy revolutionary rap shit. I got the slave shackles. Son got the noose around his neck. You heard? We call that nigga the noose, aka the noose, but he changed his name to Hangman. But for those who was early Pottersfield listeners, his name was OPIUM. You feel what I'm saying? And basically, son is from Dyckman Projects. You feel me? And I met him in Dyckman, but the way I met him was crazy. You feel what I'm saying? First of all, I knew who son was. He was younger than me though, but I knew who son was from just seeing the nigga around the hood, and he was a little blood nigga, and he was messing with, you know, other little hotbox blood motherfuckers at the time. You feel what I'm saying? The type of niggas that was getting into all type of crazy shit in the hood all the time. You feel what I'm saying? And I used to remember saying to myself, that little nigga gonna get killed. You know what I mean? Like, one of them little niggas gonna get killed or go to jail for a long time. You feel what I'm saying? So one time I heard some shit. Now the nigga Bucker used to always come to me and be like, yo son, that nigga J.O., cause niggas used to call son J.O. in the hood. Niggas like, he like, son, that nigga J.O., I'm telling you, son, that nigga's nasty. He's nasty. I'll be like, yo, if he ain't from building 2, I ain't really fucking with him. You feel what I'm saying? Like, on some rap shit and all of that. So I wasn't really interested. I'm like, yo, I ain't fucking with that nigga. He running around with a bunch of hotbox niggas, and it's only a matter of time for that little nigga to go to jail or get killed. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm good with that nigga. But the nigga Bucker used to always insist that, yo, that nigga spit though, son. I'm telling you, you gotta hear that nigga out one day. So I'm like, all right. Now at the time, son was telling Bucker, yo, you the only nigga that's nice in Pottersfield. And I like, them other niggas, they ain't nice like that. But I mean, son would later on tell me, damn, I should have filmed that shit. Nigga just went by in a chrome Lamborghini. The whole Lamborghini was chrome. On the low, that nigga was telling Bucker, yo, them other Pottersfield niggas, I ain't feeling them niggas too much, but I'm fucking with you, Bucker, you nice. You feel what I'm saying? But some would later say that was before a nigga had knowledge of self and a nigga eyes was open. You feel what I'm saying? But either way, I wasn't really trying to fuck with the nigga. You feel what I'm saying? So one day, them niggas did some other crazy shit, like they had sold, like him and his mans, they had sold some weed to some nigga, and the nigga, or whatever they sold to the nigga, and the nigga wasn't feeling what they sold him, and he came back like, yo, I want my money back, or I want a different bag, or whatever. And niggas was like, man, get the fuck out of here, nigga. You ain't getting no different bag. The fuck you bought that shit, you get the fuck out of here. So niggas barked on Son. Son pulled out a ratchet. Yo, know what I mean? Yo, I ain't no sucker, man. Just give me my shit. Boom, 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 boom. So these little niggas, these niggas so crazy, he pulls out a ratchet, they still pop on a nigga. You heard? They still pop off on a nigga while he got a ratchet backed out on them. One of them niggas, I think, bust the nigga in the head with a bottle, or pop. They just popped on the nigga. Son just start blamming. Boom, 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 boom. Two of them niggas out the three got clapped. You heard? Two of them out the three got clapped. My bro Weez, shout out Weez. I ain't gonna be mentioning too many niggas. I ain't gonna mention too many niggas' names and shit, cause this shit ain't all that old. It's old, but it could be older. You feel me? But shout out to bro Weez. Like I said, a lot of niggas in this story was young and they was kids at the time, and now they grown ass men. Know what I mean? So all the shit that I'm talking about, we just talking about ancient history. You feel what I'm saying? But, know what I mean? Two of them niggas got clapped, and I remember hearing that shit. And niggas was like, yo, you know, the nigga J.O. and the nigga Son got clapped. I'm like, word, what they did? And niggas like, yo, nigga stole off on the nigga while he had the ratchet out. Like, I'm like, yo, them niggas is crazy. And they lucky to be alive, because he could have killed them niggas. You feel what I'm saying? So I told Bucker, keep that nigga away from me, my nigga. That nigga J.O., keep that nigga away from me, bro. I don't want to have nothing to do with that nigga. He too stupid for me. Know what I mean? You punching niggas in their face while they got a gun in their hand. Know what I mean? You doing dumb shit. You headed for the penitentiary or the grave. I ain't got no time to be saving niggas' lives out here no more. I saved enough lives. You feel me? I'm about to need to save my life right now, crossing in the middle of the street in Midtown. But yeah, my nigga. So, damn, I gotta holler at Bucker and see if he hollered at me. Hold on. So yeah, I told that nigga Bucker, keep that nigga extra away from me. You heard? I'm on 34th Street right now. You heard? Last time I was over here, Greeley Square. Last time I was over here, I was with the bro Murder, man. You heard? Rest in peace. I know my nigga spirit and soul is God in a nigga. You feel what I'm saying? Real talk. Love you though, my nigga. But it's like, yeah. So, you know, time went by, water bug. You know how I feel about them shits. But, know what I mean? Time went by, you know, we rapping. Yo, and let me tell you, what I'm doing is breaking down. It's a loud ass city, bro. It's a real loud ass city. What I'm doing is breaking down how I met each member in Pottersfield, and basically their backstory behind that dude that, you know, everybody got a backstory. But so yeah, man. So you know, we out here rapping, man. We putting our little mixtapes together. Now I mean, we put out this shit called the Shoot Leg. You heard? This shit was crazy, bro. We put out this shit called the Shoot Leg, and I don't want to skip around, so I'm not gonna go into the Shoot Leg just yet. But we put out an album called the Shoot Leg, and we was selling that shit in the hood, and we was doing numbers. But check it, right? So the motherfucking Blackout hit, right? We had a blackout in New York City. Now there was two blackouts. It was one that wasn't so severe, and it only lasted for like 24 hours, and then it was one that lasted for like a whole almost 3 days. That shit was different. You feel me? Word the mother, I turned my phone off, but I just seen a nigga get thrashed out. Niggas chasing that nigga down the street for mad blocks, trying to thrash that nigga out. I hope he got away. They was chasing that nigga through a group of like tourists. The tourists was like, oh my God. I was like, welcome to New York. But anyway, so yeah, the blackout hit. Now the first blackout came, you know, it wasn't so bad. They got the power on as soon as they could. Then the second blackout, I can't remember what name. I mean, I can't remember exactly which year it is, but I'm gonna put the article on this shit. Know what I mean? But yeah, that second blackout, that shit was different, bro. It was niggas was getting crazy in the streets. Niggas woke up. Not only the lights was off, but the motherfucking water was off, nigga. It wasn't no water coming out of the faucet, nigga. You heard? People don't fail to remember that machines pump this water through reservoirs and shit like that. If it ain't no power, it ain't gonna be no water. You feel what I'm saying? So, nigga, every beverage in any and every store was gone. You couldn't get a bottle of water, a bottle of juice, soda. V8 was gone, nigga. Niggas bought all the V8 up. Shit niggas never drink. Niggas bought that shit, nigga. Nothing liquid was on a shelf, my nigga. No food either, because people was panicking. Bro, shit was getting hectic. Niggas who I knew, my neighbors, niggas who I fucked with, niggas' attitude was changing. I seen a nigga come out the building, nigga asked the nigga for a lighter. Nigga said, yo, you got a lighter? Let me use that lighter. And the nigga was like, nah, what? You ain't using my lighter. This lighter is valuable now. I mean, every strike counts. I'm like, and the nigga got tight because he couldn't get a nigga to let him hold his lighter. He was ready to smash something out. And the nigga who I'm talking about is the type of nigga that will really smash something out. You heard? And more. I was seeing how niggas was changing. I was being cautious around niggas because niggas that I knew, they was flipping and turning into different people now that niggas was in desperation. Like, wasn't no water, wasn't no food, everything was closed. Niggas was starting to get antsy, my nigga. And this was only the second day. This was 2 days in. The first day it wasn't so bad, but that second day, niggas went to them shelves and everything was gone and the water ain't come on when you woke up in the morning and tried to wash your face and brush your teeth. Shit was different. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, man. I was being cautious with people, man, because people was acting real different. People was acting real different, and simple things that people used to have and people was used to having, them shits wasn't available no more. You heard? Shit like a lighter. Man, that shit was gold, nigga. You had to walk down them stairs. Imagine being in a 14th floor building, project building, that got a history of all type of crimes happening in that shit. And you gotta come down those staircase, pitch black. No emergency lights on, nothing. Pitch black, nigga. You have to light your lighter and walk down the staircase until that shit get too hot to hold and relight it again. Stand still, let it cool down and relight it again, nigga, in the hallway. So dudes who had flashlights and shit, they was happy. I had a couple of flashlights. Like, I don't play that game. I play a lot of games, but I keep a flashlight in the house. You feel me? I got a monster flashlight in my crib right now that'll light my whole crib up. You feel what I'm saying? I don't do that when you got kids. But anyway, yeah. So people started acting funny. So at this time, you know, we outside and shit because I failed to mention it's a fucking heat wave, bro. And this is what caused the blackout. It's a monster heat wave, and it been 100 degrees or 98 or 97 degrees with a real feel of 102 for about 5 days straight, my nigga. Niggas was dripping sweat. It wasn't no air conditions nowhere. Everything was blacked out. Niggas was burning, so everybody was sitting out on the bench trying to cool off because nobody had no AC in the crib. You feel what I'm saying? Shit was ugly. Everybody outside, the whole community outside. You feel what I'm saying? So niggas started acting crazy, my nigga, and things like a bicycle, that shit became $1 million vehicle, my nigga. Wasn't no gas popping because the fucking gas pumps wasn't working. You feel what I'm saying? So shit was crazy, bro. So a bicycle, a pedal bike, that shit became prime real estate. So at this time, I'm outside, I'm with my nigga NYC. Now I gotta tell a whole story about how I started fucking with NY Sid and how me and Son got like brothers. You feel what I'm saying? I gotta tell that story, and you know I may be skipping around, but it's all intertwined. So I'm with the nigga NY Sid. Now my nigga NY Sid is a Puerto Rican nigga. He got a little white in him. He looks like a white boy, but he Puerto Rican. You feel what I'm saying? And because he looks just like a white boy, a lot of niggas be trying him, or maybe it's in his mind that he thinks a lot of niggas be trying him. Either way, my son is a pop-off artist. He don't give a fuck. I'm not gonna say he has no fear, because like the bro said, you got like the bro Ron Deuce said, you gotta have a healthy amount of fear if you wanna survive, bro, and live long. But my nigga NY Sid, at the time, he was young. He was 15, 16. That nigga ain't give a fuck. He pop on anything. You understand? He'll pop. Maybe he was 17, 18 at the time, but he'll pop on anything. He don't give a fuck. But because he appears to be a white boy to some, with the straight hair, you feel what I'm saying? I used to make fun of that nigga. He used to get mad. I used to be calling that nigga hairstyle the Lego Man. I'm like, son, you getting the Lego Man cut, son. You gotta stop that, bro. You in the hood with us. You gotta throw a do-rag on. My nigga was the only nigga got straight hair. That nigga be walking around with a do-rag on. Like this. Like he got waves. I'm like, yo, this nigga crazy. But yo, look. So my son NY Sid, you know what I mean? That nigga, he had a bike. So now the nigga OPIUM, J.O., and his band of criminals, they coming in the building. Now remember, all of these niggas is young. I'm older than all of these niggas. They the same age with my nigga NY Sid and shit, but I'm older than all of these niggas. They don't know it though, cause I look mad young. This is why I had a couple of problems with with certain niggas at certain times, because I looked mad young, but I wasn't. So boom. These niggas is coming in the building. My nigga NY Sid is in front of the building with his bike. Son, these niggas start grabbing on the nigga bike. Yo, let me get a ride, son. Let me get a ride. Let me get a ride. So Sid, like, we know all of these niggas, but niggas ain't never do no shit like that. Aggressively grab handlebars and shit like that. And the main nigga who was aggressively grabbing shit was the nigga OPIUM. At that time, we was calling him J.O. But he was the nigga that was doing a little bit too much grabbing for me. And the crazy shit was, like I said, the other two niggas, I knew them niggas somewhat. You feel what I'm saying? But this nigga, I ain't know this nigga from a can of paint. You understand? The other two niggas frequent my building. One lived in my building and the other frequent my building. So I was familiar with them. But the nigga OP, I ain't know that nigga at all. He was from building 5. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm like, so them niggas is grabbing my son's shit. So my son aggressively rips that shit away from their hands. Like, yo, get the fuck off my bike. Them niggas is laughing and shit like it's a joke in the game. And I'm telling the nigga Sid, I'm like, yo, son, don't say nothing, son. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. I was surprised. I said, what? Niggas violated? I said, all right, say no more. So straight up and down, soon as son, I said, yo, son, we going upstairs to get the ratchet. So we went upstairs to get the ratchet. Now, at this time, all I had was a MAC-11 that the nigga Murder had gave me that didn't have a clip, but it had one in the head. Now, I don't want to get this mixed up, because I had a Tech and I had a Mac at 2 different times. So it either was the Tech or the Mac, but I'm pretty sure it was the MAC-11 that Murder gave me that didn't have a clip, but I used to throw one in the head. So we went upstairs. I said, nigga, we going upstairs to get the MAC-11 that only got one in the head. So I goes upstairs, I get the MAC-11. I throw one in the head, no clip. I throw that shit in the motherfucking in a shopping bag, and I come downstairs. I said, we gonna find these niggas. And I said, the main nigga I wanna see is that J.O. nigga. Because he don't know niggas. You understand what I'm saying? Like, he playing with niggas. He don't even know niggas. I said, nigga, we gonna see that nigga. But really, we was looking to see whoever. Like I said, the Blackout had niggas tripping. 2 days ago, niggas was, yo, what up, what's good, what's popping? Giving each other pounds respectfully. That Blackout hit, nigga was on the bench with a MAC-11 looking for niggas. You feel what I'm saying? Because motherfuckers was losing their mind, and it was 100 degrees outside, so it was like the jungle in the projects. Son, me and the nigga Sid spin through the whole project, son. We spin through the whole projects looking for niggas. We don't see niggas. Now remember, I'm fresh out the penitentiary, so I'm not trying to really be walking around with a ratchet for too long of a time. If I'm gonna walk around with a ratchet, I'm only gonna do it for 15, 20 minutes, and then I'm taking that shit upstairs if I don't see nothing. You feel me? I ain't gonna be walking. I just came home. I'm on parole. You heard? So we walking through the projects with the miggity. We ain't see nobody. You heard? I said, all right. This shit ain't dead. The next morning, my son Sid, I call that nigga at 7 a.m. Yo, what up? You up? He like, yeah, I'm up. I'm up and dressed. It's good. I say, yo, let's go back outside and look for these niggas, man. You heard? Niggas go back outside, sit on the bench. It's early in the morning. We know niggas ain't moving around, but we got a feeling that niggas is in the building. So we sat in the building. We sat in front of the building with the miggity in the bag with one in the head. You heard? Looking for whoever we saw. Whoever we saw was getting pressed. Now, I'm not going to say we was going to run down on niggas and shoot niggas and kill niggas and none of that. I was older than niggas, so I was going to teach niggas a lesson. And these niggas' guns go off too. Like, I'm not talking these young niggas, but they guns go off. They done shot niggas. They done, know what I mean? They done robbed niggas. They guns was going off, and a lot of niggas in the hood was scared of these young niggas. But I just came home from doing 6 years in the penitentiary, so, you know, I wasn't really scared of nothing. So we outside early in the morning with the miggity in the bag, and we waiting for any one of these niggas to come out the building. We just was gonna run down, back out the ratchet on the nigga, and you understand what I'm saying? I don't know what the fuck was gonna happen next. We was making all type of plans, though, I'm gonna keep it real. We was laying on niggas' floors and all of that. We, like I said, the Blackout had niggas tripping, cause we was laying on niggas' floors and all of that. You feel what I'm saying? And thankfully, we didn't run into these. Like I said, a lot of people involved in this whole story of Pottersfield that I may speak about a past beef or disturbance with, nowadays, they're grown-ass men. We're all grown-ass men, and we got respect and love for each other, and we stay the fuck out each other's way and never disrespect each other. You feel what I'm saying? And that's how grown men supposed to behave and conduct themselves in these streets when you in your motherfucking 40s and 30s and shit. You heard? But at the time, we all was young. I was 22, 23, and these niggas probably was 17 and 18. You feel what I'm saying? Shit like that. So we stood on the bench for about an hour waiting for this nigga with the Mac. He never shows up. We never see. We was, like I said, our main nigga who we was thinking about was OPIUM, because we didn't know that nigga and we felt disrespected that he was the main nigga grabbing onto the handlebars that I figured. They all was violating, but he was the nigga that was, you playing, we don't even know you, nigga, you playing like that. The other niggas, they knew Sid. They may have not known me like that, but they knew Sid like that, but they don't play with Sid like that. The Blackout had niggas tripping. So we waited, we ain't see this nigga. We waited on the project bench with the Mac for an hour. We went upstairs. We like, yo, we gonna come back out later on tonight, spin through again. You heard? So boom, son. This some crazy shit. So we sitting in the studio later on that day. Remember I told you I had a studio in my crib. We sitting in the studio. Now, at this time, the old Mac G4s, they had a thing on the side where you could pull that shit and the whole side of it opens up in case you want to add a drive or remove a drive. The side of the shit opens up and you can get access to the drives on the computer, right? So I used to keep the ratchet in there. You feel me? We had like a, I think it was a 32 revolver. feel what I'm saying? Yeah, matter of fact, we had a Mac with no clip, and we had a 32 revolver. You feel what I'm saying? In the crib, in the team at the time, that was the only hammers the team had. A 32 revolver and a Mac with no clip. You feel what I'm saying? But the 32 revolver, basically, we kept that shit in the computer. Like, I put it in a spot where it can't overheat. I put some shit under it so it can't overheat, and I keep that shit right in the computer. Because we had all type of niggas coming over recording that we didn't know. I was trying to get money. People was plugging me into dudes, pause, and I was charging them for studio time. So it was all type of ragamuffins coming to the motherfucking crib that I ain't know. And you know, when they niggas see you working a computer, niggas think you're some type of nerd nigga, and niggas used to be talking loose and slick. So I used to have a hammer in the computer just in case a nigga ever gets stupid in there. I just gotta just pop the computer down, pull a hammer out. What the fuck is popping? You feel what I'm saying? So that hammer stayed there. We didn't really fuck with it because we always had niggas in the studio, so we didn't want to put nobody on to the stash spot. So that shit could only open when nobody's there. You feel what I'm saying? And only the immediate team members is there. Other niggas coming through, we ain't let them niggas see shit. So I'm sitting in the computer, I'm sitting in the studio, we recorded some shit. I got the motherfucking joint popped open. I mean, I got the joint in the joint. I got the hammer in the computer. All of a sudden, now remember, earlier that morning, a few hours ago, we was on the bench with the Miggity with one in the head looking for this nigga. And now that my memory is coming back, my nigga NY Sid had the 32. He had the 32 and I had the Miggity with one in the head. And that was stupid of me to let that nigga have that 32 that day, because that was before I knew that he was psycho. So if we would have ran into niggas, he would have shot something that day. And that's not what I was planning on doing. I just wanted to back niggas down and teach niggas a very valuable lesson. But we was gonna go do some extreme shit. We was mad because the Blackout had niggas tripping. You feel what I'm saying? So boom. Yeah, Sid had the 32 revolver and I had the Miggity with one in the head when we was out there earlier. That's a fact. You feel what I'm saying? The story is coming back to me as I speak about it. So boom, when we in the studio later, we get a knock on the door. Bang, 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 bang. We like, yo, who the fuck is that? So my nigga Joe Dancer, who usually is the nigga who answers the door, he comes in, he said, yo, that's the nigga J.O. at the door. Me and Sid look at each other. I said, J.O.? I said, you talking about that nigga from Building 5? He said, yeah. I said, what the fuck he want? He said, I don't know. He asked, he asked, is you here? So I said, huh? I said, yo, let that nigga the fuck in. I popped open the motherfucking computer. I said, let that nigga in. This nigga comes strolling through the door. Yo, what's up, man? I'm like, what's up? Now in my head, I'm like, nigga, we just finished looking for you on the bench for an hour straight with the Miggity with one in the head. You feel what I'm saying? And the tray deuce. Like, you knocking on my door. So when he comes through, I got the ratty on him, my shit like this. The whole studio quiet. There's all of us in there. I'm like, what's up? He like, yo, man. He like, yo, listen, I know y'all niggas don't know me, and I don't know y'all niggas, but I spit, man. I spit, and I'm hearing y'all niggas letting these other niggas record in the studio out here, and these niggas is nice too, but niggas ain't on my level, man. Know what I mean? I'm telling you, I spit crazy. Niggas can't fuck with me. So I was like, I'm looking at my man, I'm looking at Sid looking at me. He like, you want to pop on this nigga? He giving me the eyes like, you want to pop on this nigga? So I said, yo, this nigga's crazy. I like, he don't know we was just looking. Do he remember him grabbing you don't remember you grabbed the handlebars yesterday? This nigga was 16 at the time. I said, yo, you don't remember you grabbing the handlebars yesterday? In my head, I'm saying all of this. I'm like, so I'm stupid confused. So he like, yo, I don't want to take up y'all niggas' time, man. I mean, I just want y'all niggas to hear me out, man. Let me spit one motherfucking verse. And if you don't like me, I get the fuck out of here and I never come back. Just let me, just listen. Let me spit one verse. Nigga, like, let me just spit one verse, man. I mean, one verse, man. So I said, I wasn't even really saying nothing. I just was like, I said, yo, go in the booth. Now, my booth, that shit is like soundproof. Like, we did it hood shit, but that shit was very soundproof. So when that nigga went in the booth and closed the doors, I'm like, yo, is this nigga fucking serious? Is this nigga serious? Like, he don't know we was looking for this nigga earlier? So the nigga Bucker is like, oh, son, just hear the nigga out, son. Bucker was in there. He like, just hear the nigga out, son. Hear the nigga out. You feel me? I'm like, man, throw a motherfucking beat on for this nigga, man. Throw a fucking beat on for this nigga. Niggas threw a beat on, son, and this is when State Property was out. So the nigga's son was heavily influenced by Oskino and Sparks. Like, his whole style was sparked out. So this nigga get in the booth, my nigga. Throw the beat on, son. We got the shit playing so we can hear the nigga. You feel what I'm saying? A little bit out the speakers, but the booth is soundproof. Son, this nigga start blacking. And when I say blacking, I mean this nigga was 16 years old, spitting all type of deep pop, revolutionary, spiritual shit, nigga. And this nigga was a straight knucklehead gang member, just got shot. Buckatron just got shot for trying to jump a nigga while he had a ratchet on y'all. You feel what I'm saying? This nigga was a nutcase. Nigga headed for the penitentiary or death at any minute. And this nigga was in the booth spitting some crazy pop, deep shit. I'm like, I'm looking at these niggas looking at me. I'm like, I said, yo, this nigga crazy. I looked at niggas, son. I said, this nigga PF, nigga. My son Buckatron in the building, you heard? We run New York City, Pottersfield, you heard? I said, yo, Bucker was there like I told you. I said, I'm telling them niggas on the time that nigga OP came to the studio to spit for us while that morning we was out looking for that nigga with the Mac. You heard? Because of that shit when the blackout happened, when niggas grabbed Sid bike. You feel me? Son, this nigga started spitting, son. I looked at all these niggas, I said, this nigga PF. This nigga Pottersfield. Niggas like, son, word, son. I said, man, that nigga Pottersfield, nigga. You heard? Son, that nigga got out that booth, son. Niggas was looking at that nigga like, bro, we was about to kill you this morning. If we would've saw you outside, niggas would've, who knows what would've took place, my nigga. But we was looking for you with the ratchet this morning. We ain't telling this nigga that. We just observing this nigga. This nigga sits down and I'm playing his shit back, letting him hear his shit back. He like bopping his head. We smoking a blunt. We passes this nigga a blunt. This nigga chiefing the blunt like a maniac, son. This nigga taking 7, 8 pulls like this. Y'all like that shit? That shit hot? I'm like, yo, my nigga, we don't know you. We don't know you, bro. Nigga got the whole blunt canoeing like, it's 10 of us on this blunt in the studio. Niggas is wolves waiting for they 2 pulls. This nigga like this. How that sound? I'm like, yo, this nigga right here too arrogant for me, my nigga. But he spit too crazy. He spit too crazy. And from then on, I knew it was going to be a problem, my nigga. I knew it was going to be a problem because I knew that I had discovered a great mind. I had discovered a highly intellectual motherfucker that was trapped in the hood with no direction. You feel what I'm saying? That nigga was headed to the penitentiary or the grave any day. His mother was trying to put him in the army. throwing pressure on his back. Any day he was going to sign away and go to the army because his moms was trying to get him out the hood before he get murdered. You feel what I'm saying? In fact, he got kicked out the house because he didn't go to the army and he had to come live with me and stay with me. You feel what I'm saying? And check it. The niggas that he was fucking with, his old niggas, his old gang members, his niggas that he came up with, I knew it was gonna be a problem now, because now I will pull this nigga away to get this nigga knowledge of self and bring him into this rap shit, and I was gonna dictate his head off and try to get him out the streets before he gets shot, killed, or go to the penitentiary. You feel what I'm saying? So I knew it was gonna be a problem, and it surely was, but I'll talk about it on the next part of that story of Pottersfield. You heard? Z-Man, Suicide Polo.
If you never saw my video with Conway the Machine, that's me and the bro OPIUM, aka Hangman, right there. You heard? I'ma leave a description. I'ma leave a link in the description that go to the video, and I'ma pin the video in the comments too, so you could check that out. You feel what I'm saying? Get at me, Z-Boy. And once again, man, pardon how wide my collar is on that shirt. That was a low shirt though, but I mean, it was a size or two too big. You heard? I was trying to mix 99 with 2020 or 2019. It ain't really work out like that. You feel what I'm saying? Or whatever that was. But yeah, that collar was kind of wide. Now I mean, I had a couple of chains on. Now I mean, they were small chains though, so you just really notice neck. But I'm just letting y'all niggas know, you heard? If you ain't see the video we got with Jada Kiss, Swag on Pluto, you heard? Go look that up. I don't know why when I put that in on YouTube, it don't pop right up, man. I don't understand it, but it's in my playlist, man. St. Lad's Videos with Major Dudes. Got a playlist called St. Lad's Videos with Major Dudes. Go check that out, you heard? But we definitely had the video with Kiss that got played on MTV.